Hi, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning from whenever you're going to be watching this recording from. Today, I'm just going to be looking at the different items or different currencies, different pairs that we would have for this week, the outlook for this week, I should rather say. We had an amazing week last week. In fact, Friday was one of the best days that we've had because everything was just falling in line, for us. I think that was partly because we had the G7 meetings, so every currency was just playing out. So I do expect an equally good week because right now I think we're having some pullbacks happening. So I do expect a pretty good week this week that we're getting into. Because to start with, we have a number of news releases which would help to really push the market forward. So to start with, I like to just to go through. I try to keep this as short as possible, so it's not too much stress. As you're watching it right now. So first of all, on Sunday, Sunday is a slow day when market opens on Sunday. We usually don't trade on Sundays. We just let it play out, except for some of you that already have some trades running. So you may find that the market may gap, either to the top or to the bottom. But normally, when it does that, it usually comes back to fill that gap before continuing in its original direction. So Sunday, we have AU Bank Holiday. It's not really a day we should be bothered about. So our day starts on Monday, 4 a.m. That's quite interesting because 4 a.m. is still very early for us here in the UK for GBP pairs to be having news. So, but that's going to happen as the first news for us. I think it might be good enough for you guys in the US, so if you're still awake. So that's one. 4 a.m. we'll have a GBP news, and throughout that day, the only news that we have would be the AUD news, which it's a medium impact news, meaning it will still move the market. I know we have a number of GBP news here, but yeah, they are low impact news. But JPY, it does its things when it wants to do it sometimes. So on Tuesday we have major news as well. Same thing. Am I on the right time frame? Okay, let me confirm that before I continue. So okay, that was the problem. Okay, I need to take this to my time zone, which is in London. So surprised about the 4:30 a.m. news. That's interesting. Okay, so yeah, so it's not correct. It's not correct. Take this forward. See. Yeah, same thing. So on Sunday we have the bank holiday happening. Then on Monday we have the GBP news exactly 9:30 a.m. That's our time. So that will be 4:30 a.m. your time, Central Time. That's for the US guys. Then on Tuesday we have the GBP news again. We have the AU news at AUD news at 2:30 a.m. It's a medium impact news, but I believe it's still gonna move the market. 9:30 a.m. we have another news. By 1:30 we have the USD news as well. So Wednesday, number of news as well. AUD, presently we're doing the AUD JPY, so that's really good for us. So we're expecting this news to be unfavorable. If it is unfavorable and we expect pound, what is it called now, JPY to be favorable, then we know that it's the trade is just gonna keep continuing as it was last Friday. So that's what we're praying for. Then we're praying for the USD news. I know some people are in AUD USD news as well. Things will just continue the way they are. Nothing should just change till we get to our final TP. Then they can begin to do their thing. But you have major news on Wednesday as well. USD news on Wednesday. We have more AUD news on Thursday. Euro news. In fact, the whole of this week will have major news coming, except on Friday, just about three JPY news. Good for us as well, but just keep an eye on these news releases. Some of us trade news, so if you want to trade them, just be careful as you do trade them. One key news we'll have this week is the FOMC news, I would presume. Let me see. Yep, that's on Wednesday. It's a major news, so we need to also watch out for that one. Yep. After that, yeah, another thing I like to look at is the Euro USD. Euro USD, because so that's the Euro USD, the US dollar index. I like to look at that because that really determines a number of things in the market. It affects the GBP, USD, affects the USD, JPY, affects AUD, US, most of the USD pairs anyway. So right now I'm really thinking this might come all the way down to this structure here, to form a head and shoulder, to begin to form a head and shoulder, then jump back up to complete that head and shoulder. I think the completion will be at this point. But if that continues, that's some really good news for GBP USD and USD Euro USD. So just look out for that currency, this index. Yep. So now I'd like to take us straight to the charts. I was really looking at this this thing now. I wanted Euro USD to be a positive one. Forming, like you see the opposite, see what's happening here. This is forming an inverted head and shoulder. This is trying to form like a head and shoulder. So you see, so it seems like the opposites. If you look at it, see what's happening. Seem like opposites. So I'm more inclined to believe that this may be happening in the weekly. As you can see, it's already going back up. So I'm expecting this to go back up to test structure before beginning to come back down. This is what I anticipate may happen. So let me see. Measured move. If I take it from here to this point here, the neck, the TP be down here. This one of these levels, which coincides with this level that price keeps turning at. So every time price gets to that level, it turns back up, doesn't so that's the level we're expecting this thing to finally get to before it might get down here, and then we'll see it jump back up. So let me see that. Just like what has been happening here, it could just jump back to this point here, or go all the way to this point based on what we're seeing on the left, or probably go back to this point. So that's where for some of us that would love to just trade one pair. So if you just concentrate on trading one pair, you could trade every story that it tells all the way from where it is to the top and back, and back up again, and you don't do any other thing. Yeah, so that's Euro USD. I'm just going to pick a number of pairs. You know how I do it for tonight, because it's just going to be a very short one. I had a very long day today, so I'm a bit tired. I can hear it in my voice. So I'm just going to scan through them. Then maybe by tomorrow, I'm going to map out every one of these trades, starting from the ones that we're currently looking at. So right now we have that one. We have let me see, GBP USD. We're looking at that one as well. What's the higher time frame saying? Okay, so see that bullish flag happening, bearish flag happening. So I'm expecting that has broken out now. I'm expecting a retest or some sort of retest. It may come here. It's already come back to retest that trend line. It may come back to retest that that trend line, which will this particular trend line here, which will coincide with that structure level. It may do that before dropping back, but it's not a problem. Whatever it does, we only enter when we get confirmation. But this is just an indication for us to know that it's coming down, because it's broken out of that trend line. So now this is what we're seeing now, and see how I mapped this out. So already played that. I thought this was going to break out and retest and drop, but it didn't fake out, and then it went to the upside. So it did that, and now it's coming down. So it may continue coming down, or it may just come back to this level and then do um, jump back up. It doesn't really matter. Like I say, we only trade when we see confirmations. So I wouldn't enter this until I see it break out of this little channel. Let me see how many um, pips. Yeah, just 100 pips. So you could drop to the lower time frames and just keep taking it up and down. But make sure that you get good confirmations before you get in, so you don't get stopped out or stay in the middle. Okay, this is another pair we're looking at. Let me see if it's good enough to, yeah. So this is one pair that's been ranging ever since it got down. It's a good one though, but it's slow. It's not really moving as we expected it to be, because you see what happened on the higher time frame. So it's been ranging, trading within these two channels. But it's just a very funny trade, a very, very funny pair. So it got to this point, had some rejection tree in what they call the doji here, and then you can see it's dropping. So we're just playing with it right now. For I know some of us are in it already. So just keep it's a slow pair. So you just like to keep doing whatever you're doing. If you're in it, it just keeps going up and down, comes down, goes back, comes down. So you can drop to your smaller time frame, so you can play the channel. You know how we trade channels. When it goes up, we sell. When it comes down, we buy. So bring this close to where it is. So you can always take your profits when it gets close to your next support or resistance zones. But what I can advise, if a pair is not very clear, just leave it and move to the next one. You don't want to, unless you're already in it. If you started somewhere around here and you're already in good profit, you can protect your profit and let it keep running. But if it's not clear, you've not entered yet, I say move to the next pair, find something that is clearer, something that is more tradable, then. So that's that one. Then CAD chef. So the higher time frame comes kind of similar to the one we just saw now, trading in this channel here. So the exact same thing, forming that what did we do, a cup of cocoa, like we call it. So it came to that level, touched it, and it's dropping. So like I say again, if it's not clear, if you've not entered from the beginning, no need to play this. Look for something else to play. Let this play itself out, work itself out, produce a good opportunity, trading opportunity. Right now, it broke that structure, dropped down to this level, and then jumped back up. So I don't want to trade it, because I'm not in it already. So I'm just gonna let this one pass. Yeah, so move to the next one. NUD and NZD USD. I know some people were on this one. I think particularly Adrian was on this one. She started somewhere around here, I would presume. So she's already taken it up. So it's good. It's a good trade to play if you started somewhere here, because I know it's going up. If you see me, I've marked that already. So this is where it's getting to, based on price action. You notice what it's been doing. Broke, came back, retested it. Every time it broke out of this, came back, retested, jumped, retested, jumped, retested, jumped. So it's coming back to retest. So it's also doing the same things, just ranging right now. So expecting this to keep going up. But the thing I don't like about this particular pair is that although it's quite cheap, but then it's slow, slow. So if you want to trade, you need to be patient. But I expect pullbacks to happen as well. See a lot of pullbacks happening. Goes up and drops, goes up, drops massively, goes up and then drops, goes up, and now dropped, give you 50, almost 50%. So yeah, that's what's going to be happening. But if it breaks above here, we want to play this, let it break above here. You know how it is, you know how we do it. Let it break above, like what happened here. It broke above, came back, retested, and then we entered on the engulfing candle. See that engulfing candle? Then you might have waited for it to come back and retest. If you go to your smaller time frame, you find some good entry opportunities. Like now, if you've seen an engulfing candle forming, what you need to do, like the strategy I taught you, drop over to the smaller time frame and look for a good trading opportunity to take it. Like if you wanted to take this trade, maybe you would have entered on this particular um, candle here, and then let me see how many pips. Not quite many, though. Yeah, about 20 plus pips. Then you let it play out. Never got okay. I got an engulfing candle here, but it dropped and then didn't hit my stop. The stop loss will have been somewhere around here, and then went up number of pips as well. So it would just be good for scalping if you were not in it from the beginning. So it's about 20 plus pips as well. So just let it play out. But if it breaks above here, let it come in and do this break above, retest, and then you can play to the upside and hold. If you can hold it and let it take you to where this guy is, or you can take profit every time it comes to the next level, then create another level for it, drop down to your smaller time frame, then create another level so you can take profit before and then map it out before you enter. So that's NZD USD. This is one of my favorite ones as well. Why? Because it was playing out because based on JPY movements. So although I wasn't taking it, I'm not taking it, but if you notice, I mapped out the head and shoulder. This is what we mapped out last last week. Now, yeah, last week we said it was going to do this, and yes, sure, as you can see, it did what we thought it was going to do. Played, tested, and then got to this point. And when it got to this point, kind of ranged a bit, and then dropped. We saw this and we saw this coming, saw this bull flag, this bearish flag forming. So we put a rectangle, triangle in it, and then it broke that, and now it's coming down. So I expect this to just keep coming down, but I won't play this. This is not my part of my trading pair. So, but I just like the fact that it has JPY on it in it as well. But I don't trade it that much, except if I don't have any other thing to trade and there's good something happening on this one, then I can take it. And USD CAD has been some troublesome pair for us. It's been in this position for like forever. But you can see what we've done. We thought it was going to do a head and shoulder, but it kind of failed. Everyone, this pair failed. Almost everyone that I know, most major traders that I know, they were really looking for that head and shoulder because of what happened here. If you go back, you see stories it's been telling. This was a good head and shoulder as well that entered into another head and shoulder that tried to enter another head and shoulder. So we were really expecting that to happen. But like we know, price does what it wants to do, So that failed. But though it didn't break out of that shoulder that we created for it, So went back up. This was the shoulder anyway, not this one, but then it kind of, I don't know what it's trying to create here, maybe another shoulder, but then that doesn't really matter right now because we have that trend line mapped out for it. This big one, this one, and then that one. So it's trading within that trend line. So what are we waiting for? We're waiting for breakouts. If it breaks above here, you see our strategy. We've already mapped that out. It's going to break and then probably retest this, and when we take our trade. Remember, this has to come because it's a major resistance zone. So you need to see something like this as well. You need to see it break out and then retest and then jump up, retest before you take your trade. This one as well, I'm not doing anything on the inside. I don't have any reason to be in this trade. Normally you want to drop down to your smaller time frame to see if you can take trade within that this frame where it is right now, but I don't want to do that. I just want to see it break out to the top or to the bottom before I take it. So if it breaks out, I want to see a retest and then it will drop. To drop back to this point, that's the supply, the demand zone that it hasn't retested since. This is a demand zone that it got, but it hasn't retested. So we're waiting for that to break into that, to come back to test that demand zone, before jumping back up. Okay, so that's USD CAD. Yeah, this one as well. We decided I wanted to play that head and shoulder as well. Where is it? But it kind of didn't really give us. Where is it now? Okay, yeah, that's the one. So I wanted to play this head and shoulder, but Yeah, it's doing this right now. Broke out, so retested. So for some reason, it's breaking out. This could be a false breakout. Be a false breakout. It may just continue going up. Whatever be the case, we don't trade unless we see what's it called, net confirmation. I was in this trade. I think I was on this trade at one point. I was picking this. I was doing all of this. Anytime it does that, I took it all the way to the top before it began to drop, and got out of it. So that's that one. AUD USD. Have I looked at this one already? No, I haven't. AUD USD, not a good trade. We're looking at a bearish flag. Look at that drop, and then that forming a flag right now. What can you notice? Broke out and what a retest. Fantastic trade, I will tell you. So we mapped that out, and sure enough, price did what we thought it was going to do. Retested that structure, which coincided in confluence with that trend line, and then it's dropping now. So after that, this is where we have our next target. When it gets here, the next one will be somewhere. Let me see now. Maybe the neck of that. Yeah. The neck of that flag. So that's where that structure is. So that's the one we're looking at. Drop down to a smaller time where you can see what's happening. So we want this to break this and properly break out of it, and then presently we are seeing this as a pullback. So this could just break back in and then continue down. But whatever be the case, we will only take it if we see a confirmation. So that's that one. The same thing. So I kind of broke this down on looking at the different charts. Brought it down to the smaller time frame, so it kind of looks messy, but that's what happened. It played out, yep, and dropped. I thought it was going to drop immediately, but it went up, back, and then to that level I thought it was going to get to, and then now it's coming down. So I'm expecting it to come down to this level, this trend that I created for it. Yep, that's bearish flag, so it's going to come down to this level. Then if it breaks, that's coming down. So that's AUD USD. Yep, GBP pairs. GBP pairs have been some. At one point it was messing up, but I think it's beginning to do its thing. Same thing like AUD USD. Bearish flag, drop. Flag is forming, and then we had that break and retest. Remember, break and retest of that trend line, and now it's coming down. A lot of us were waiting for this area. Yes, it broke above it. It's broke above structure. It's fine. It's absolutely fine. So I know some of us got stopped us out. In loss, it's fine. I know we probably made it up in some other trades. So, but it needed to come in, and we thought it was going to just come in and retest structure, but it wants to come in and retest trend line. It's all good. Came in, retested trend line, now it's heading down. So this is where it's coming to. So it might come back here first of all, then come back here, then come back here. Most of these places are all demand zones. So look for your TPs around here, but you know the strategies for entering. Just look for some flag, pennant, engulfing candle, whichever strategy you want to use to take it. But be sure that you see a confirmation before you jump in the trade. How are we doing on time? Okay, almost 30 minutes. All right. I'm not gonna look at this one that much because I'm not really looking at this guy for now. GCAD. I'm probably gonna map them out and send them as charts later. But let me see. Okay, same thing. Euro USD. See, yeah, that was we saw this thing. We have this head and shoulder that is forming down where we have this small one that we are looking at as well. This small one forming here. When I look at this on the higher time frame, okay. So yeah, this is it. Head as a head and inverted head and shoulder. So break above, retest. Now we're expecting this to happen. It's gonna keep going up, then probably break above, retest, and then it will go to the next level. So if you measure this, let me see this. Where do we expect this to get to? There should be your. I need one more line here. Horizontal line here. So this is where we are right now. So I need to see this happen. Okay, that's fine. To see that happen. Yep. So yeah, something around here. So yeah, but it's pretty much around that structure level, so it's all good. So this is where we're expecting to see final TP where everything works in our favor. Come down retest, and we're expecting this to go, this to go. So do this, again, it's the retest, it's a confirmation, it's a confirmation, and then we need to see that break out to the top. Yep. So that's what we're waiting for that to happen. What else? I'm just gonna leave that one. ECAD, yeah, it's coming down now. That head and shoulder finished it there, and then it's coming down. So it may be coming down to form another head and shoulder. See, then we just drop here. Just do that, then do that, and then we see a drop. May just do that. I don't know, but it would only trade based on confirmation. Yep, I just see something like that happening. Yep, okay, that was my pattern. It's a butterfly pattern. Let me see. Oh, sorry, it was a very shark. The shark, yeah. So you see what's happening. Yeah, see that drop. So it's happening right now. What we're experiencing right now is a pullback. So it's forming a flag, forming kind of like a flag here right now. So we're expecting that to keep coming down. Yep. So because of that, I will presume. Let me see what I saw in the other one. NJ. Where are you? Okay, yeah, exactly same thing. So expect that to keep coming down now. So same thing here. Yeah, so this is another confirmation. This is a bearish shark pattern. So okay, so Euro JPY, is that the one we're taking? Yeah, that thing was somebody was taking this. I think Oluwole was trading this one as well. So right now it's looking like it's coming down. Let me see. See, where are we now? Okay, it's coming down to this structure. Who knows? Let me just come down to this structure. I can say, let me see. I think it didn't come so as low as I thought it would before going up, but anyway, it's all good. We'll see how it goes. Only confirmation is a watchword. Once we don't see confirmation, we won't trade it. So if it continues to drop, then we might just finish up this head and shoulder. That rally shoulder, rally, then it will drop all the way down here, then go back up, and then but if it's already started its head and shoulder, then it's all good. We will just play along with it. Yep. So that's what that is. But it's already broken above. But you can see it's throwing small candles. It's not really good indication of whether it's going to continue up or down until we start seeing large candles forming. This would have been a good place to this would have been a good place to buy. This would have been a good place to sell. So, but because they are not very big and large candles, just need to let it play. So this was supposed to be a bullish butterfly, but right now, price is trading between these ranges. So they are trading between these ranges. So we are right now. What we're playing is this. Let me bring it down to. We think it's eventually gonna go up when it breaks, but it needs to be able to break above this strong resistance for it to be able to go up. So if it goes up, this is another massive trade that would be taken. How many pips now? About 400 plus pips here. So, but right now it's ranging. The smaller time frame I had, that's the one we're playing all day Friday. So we saw that go all the way up. So right now we're playing it down. So that move, flag, drop, Now this is a massive pullback. Remember what I said, that the price will always give you back 50%. So the 50%, I think it comes into this place. See see the Fibonacci now drilled all the way from here to down here. So if it's supposed to give you 50%, then it's going to take you all the way into this place. It's going to go into this place. In this place, that's where your 50% is, which is in confluence with your structure. Break out, retest of structure, which is in confluence with your 50%. Following those rules. So it may just go up a little bit before dropping. But it's, I think it's coming down. It's going to keep coming down. So from there, we want to see this drop back, and where our final target is. So that's where our final target is going to be. Then we'll start seeing the move to the upside again. Okay, so yeah, see what's happening right now. Just consolidating, but it's fine. We are not trading it until we see confirmation. I love that move, giant. This is a basic. Let me see if I can find. Because of time, I will show you that in our teaching class. This is a basic ascending channel. If this happens, you always see breakout to the downside. Okay, so that's that. What else? Okay, so that's that about the different pairs I will be playing this week. I would chart them out again to probably do them again with cleaner charts and send them in so that we can all compare with our own charts as well. This is one pair, exotic pair I was looking at for someone who was really playing out. It's forming the head and shoulders through that giant, what's it called now, doji. That doji now a pin bar, and then it's coming down. So that's a shooting star, by the way. I would think that a shooting star. So now it's coming down, expecting this to come down to this level and then jump up to that level, retest it, break out, retest, and then take this to the moon. But we can't trade this, quite expensive. So I'm just going to leave this. But this is it for some people that may want to play the USD-DKK. So, yep, that brings us to the end of this session. I said I was going to keep it short. I don't want it to be too long, so it's easy for you to watch and play. So thank you, and have a fantastic day. So I'll stop the recording.